Alright, the mastery test is tomorrow. This test will replace the test that you had during the 6 weeks. We'll start off with the first part, which is division. When it comes down to division, what you have to do is you have to separate the numbers and the letters. In this case, the numbers is 12 over 6. And the letters x squared, which is 2x, is all over 1x. Now the letters are easy because these will cross out and you'll be left over with the x. As it comes down to the fraction, you can always use the calculator by pressing alpha, y equal to, enter, and that will give you a fraction. Now you put 12 on top, 6 on the bottom, and that becomes 2. So the answer is 2x. We can do the same thing right here. We're going to separate the numbers and the letters. Here's 100, here's 4 x's, and there's 3 y's. And the other one we have 54, 2 x's, and 1 y. Now the y's cross out, the x's cross out, you end up with x squared and y squared. But now we have a fraction. So we're going to put in the calculator one more time. Alpha y equal to enter. We have 100 over 54. And again, the calculator helps us out by reducing it to 50 over 27. So the answer is 50 over 27, x squared, y squared. Now sometimes they'll extend the fraction sign. Instead of just being right here, they'll make it over everything and putting 27 right here. That's also good. Alright, now for the perimeter. For the trick for the perimeter, what you want to do is you want to line them up. And that makes everything a lot easier. So for the perimeter, we add all the sides. We add this one, plus 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 this one. And the best way to do so is to just line them up together. 2x plus 3. You're going to add to that 1x plus 5. Then you're going to add to that to 1x. Then 2x plus 3. And then 1x plus 5. And the last 1x. Once you line them up, you'll separate them like this. 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 is 16. And this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the answer becomes 8x plus 15. The x's stay x when you add. When you multiply this, then they become x squared and x cubed. We're going to do the perimeter of this rectangle right here, and it's going to be the same kind of concept. But remember, when you do the perimeter, you don't just add these two sides. You also add this side. And you also add this side. You have to add all 4 sides. So with perimeter, you line them up. Alright, that'll be 4x plus 7, 2x minus 5, 4x plus 7, and 2x minus 5. Alright, 7 minus 5 is 2, 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, and another 6 is 12. And the answer is 12x plus 4. For this one, they give you the perimeter and the width, and they ask you for the length. So this time you're going backwards. So we'll take the width, which is 5x plus 4. Pretend that this is it right here. Which means this is also 5x plus 4. Now the length we don't know. So we'll put question marks there. So let's line them up. Length and width. Length and width. That gives me the perimeter, and the perimeter is 12x plus 18. Alright, 5 plus 5 is 10, which means this one has to be 1 and 1. Because 5 and 1 is 6, plus 5 and 1 is 6, that gives me 12. Here we have 4 and 4 and 8, that's 18, which means 10 is missing, so this has to be 5 and 5. 4 and 5 is 9, and another 9 is 18. So this right here is my length, which is x plus 5. So working backwards is the same concept, just backwards. Area is multiplication. So every time they ask you for the area, you will multiply. And we always multiply using the box method or using parentheses. So here they're asking you for the area of the shaded region. Now this one's a little different. Because for this, you'll have to find area of the big box, take away area of the little box. And for the test, we just have to set it up. We don't have to work it out, just set it up. So this is the big box. To find the area, we have length times width. We signify length times width multiplication by using parentheses. So 3x times 3x plus 2. That's the area of the big box. Take away area of the little box. 10x times 2x. And for the test reasons, this is as far as you have to go. But if you actually had to multiply it out, this is 3x times 3x, 3x times 3x, 3 times 3 is 9. X is x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x. Take away 2x times 10x is 20x squared. And 9x squared, take away 20x squared, is negative 11x squared plus 6x. But for this test, you only have to be able to set it up. What is the area of the following figure? Now this is easy. Again, area is multiplication of the length times the width. So this is the length, this is the width. But it looks weird because we have a 5x and 12, so all you got to remember is that the 5x and 12 go together. Now since that 12 is a positive 12, we're going to put plus 12. Now 12 times 5x and then 12 times 12. 12 times 5x, 5 times 12 is 60, 60x. And here we have 12 times 12. 12 times 12 is 144. So the answer is 60x plus 144. For number 3, it's asking for the same thing. This one times this one. So we're going to end up being 2x plus 5 times 3x minus 3. Now notice we can't do this because there's an extra number here. So we can either do FOIL, or the easiest way to do this is by using the box method. So whenever you can multiply one thing by two things, we always do it this way. But if it's two things by two things, we'll always use the box. It just makes it easier. 2x goes here, 5 goes here, 3x goes here, negative 3 goes here. And the top and the left multiply. 3 times 2, x and x, so that's 2 times 3, x becomes 6x squared. 2 times negative 3, and then x right here becomes negative 6x. 5 times 3x is 15x. And 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. And these two add each other. We end up with 2x squared. 15 minus 6 is 9x. Minus 15. Alright, that's the first page. Now we're going to get to the second page. So the second page says, how do you check if these are factors of this? First part is in the graph. So let's go ahead and check it. We go over here, turn on the y equals. And we put the factors there. In y1. Then we'll go to y2 and we'll put the product. Now, these are exactly the same and they are equal to each other. When I graph it, I should see the first one right here and the second one right on top of it. So there should only be one picture. And as you can tell, there's only one quadratic equation here. So this is, yes, it is a factor. Why? Because it only shows one graph, one parabola, one of these. There's the first one, and here's the second one right on top of each other, so you can tell they're the same. How do we check in the table? Well, we've got to go to the table, and again, we look at the y1 and the y2. Not the x, just y1 and y2. Same, 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 and same. Since they're all the same, that's why they drew on top of each other. So in the table, y1 and y2 are the same. Alright, greatest common factor. We got to take a look at them, see what they both have. They both have a number, and the number they have in common is 3. Because 15 is 3 times 5, and 3 is 3 times 1. So they have a 3 in common. This has 2 x's, it has 3 x's. That means they have 2 x's in common. This one has 1y, this one has 2y. They have 1y in common. So the greatest common factor here is 3x squared y. Now to factor it out, we take this outside and we divide them. That's why I put them as a fraction. 3 divided by 3 is 1. The x's cancel out, the y cancels out, the plus sign comes down. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 3 x's on top, 2 x's on the bottom, you have 1 x left over. 2 y's on top, 1 y on the bottom, you have 1 y left over. The answer there is 3x squared y, 1 plus 5xy. Same thing here. 15 is 15 times 1. and 30 is 15 times 2. They both have a 15 in common. They also have a 5 in common, a 3 in common, among many other numbers. So, but this is the greatest one. They both have 15 in common. We have 4 x's, 7 x's. They pick the smaller letter, which is x4. We have 2 y's on both sides, so you use both 2 y's. Whatever's down here goes outside the parentheses. And whatever's inside comes inside the parentheses. 30 divided by 5 is 2. These cross out, plus sign comes down. 15 divided by 15 is 1. 7 x's on top. 4 in the bottom. That leaves you with 3 x's. And the 2 y's cross out. For the puzzle, it's pretty easy. If this is an x, I need another x to get the x squared, and I need a 5. So I'll put a 5 right here. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25x. Negative 5 times positive 5 gives you negative 25, and 5 times x is 5x. The factors are what's outside. That'll be 5x plus 5, x minus 5, and you can actually factor out that 5. Those are the factors. The product is what's on the inside. That's the multiplication portion. That'll be 5x squared. 5 minus 25 is negative 20x. Minus 25. Again, this is x squared. X times x is x squared. X times 6 is 6x. There's nothing here. 6 times 4 is 24, and 4 times x is 4x. Factors here are x plus 4. That's the outside. And the product is what's on the inside. That'll be x squared. These add. Plus 10x. Plus 24. Given this figure, find the length, find the width, find the perimeter. Now this is pretty easy. Even if you didn't know how to do this, when you see an equation that looks like that, you know you have to factor it. That's what we did in class all this time. So we use the box to factor. We'll put the first one here. We'll put the second one here. We'll put the last one here. And then we'll take this number times this number, and that will give me negative 90. And that's what goes in the calculator. So I go to my calculator and put negative 90 divided by x. And some of y'all will be really comfortable doing negative 90 divided by x plus x. Now you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it makes it easier. Now, I am looking for a number that goes here from the first column, a number that goes here from the second column, and that's going to give me whatever's in the third column here, which is positive 1. So if I could looking for it real quick, I'll find positive 1 right there. So it's negative 9 and 10. So 10 and negative 9. When we factor it out, these have a 3 in common. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times negative 3 is 9. 2 times 5 is 10, and 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. The factors are 2x minus 3. We'll call that the length. 3x plus 5, we'll call that the width. Now, if I want the perimeter, I'll have to add another 2x minus 3 and the 3x plus 5 together. So if we add them all together, that becomes 4, and this becomes 10. This will be the perimeter, 10x plus 4. Alright, which expression is the factor? Again, the concept's really easy. You draw the box. First one goes in the first box, second one goes outside, last one goes in the last box. So whatever's in the front times the last, that's what goes in the calculator. And the numbers that multiply together give me 12, the add to give you 7 is negative 3x and negative 4. Now how do I do that? Again, you go over here, 12 divided by x, 12 divided by x plus x. I'm looking for this number and this number that gives me 7. Come over here. I get 7 right there, but that's positive 7. So I keep the numbers. 3 and 4 gives me 7. I want the numbers. I want to change the signs, though, because I don't want positive 7. I want negative 7. So I change this sign to negative 4. I change this one to negative 3. Alright, when you take these outside, you end up with these right here. So the answer there is x minus 4, x minus 3. Same thing here, except there's 2 of them. So you got to factor the top. And get an answer, put it right here. Then you factor the bottom. Get an answer and put it right here. So let's factor the top. We have x squared, 10x, 9. If I plug into the calculator, 1 times 9 is 9. This goes in calculator. It'll give me 1x and 10x. So it's x1, x10. I'm sorry, 1x and 9x. So this becomes x plus 1, x plus 9. Now we'll do the bottom. The bottom's a little bit harder, but it's the same concept. 2x squared, 15x, negative 27. And 2 times negative 27, that's what goes in a calculator. That gives me negative 54. So I go in the calculator and go y equals negative 54 divided by x. And negative 54 divided by x plus x. And again, I am looking for the number that goes here, that goes here, that gives me 15. So the number that goes here, that goes here, that gives me 15. In this case, it's right there. I got the right number, the wrong sides. So I could just change that to positive and that to negative. Or I can find it up here. See that? Negative 3x, positive 18. These have a 2 in common. This has a 2 in common. This is x. This is 9. This is negative 3. So we have x plus 9 and 2x minus 3. And as you notice, these will cross out. So my answer is this one right here. X plus 1 on top, 2x minus 3 on the bottom. Factor this one. Now this is really hard to factor until you realize that it's missing the a in the middle, which is 0a. 0a. Once you realize that, everything makes sense. Now we're back to being normal. Looks just like these right here. So now you can put it into a box just like this. Zero goes right here, and negative 49 goes right here. And then we multiply 9 times negative 49. That's negative 441. Negative 441 divided by x. And negative 441 divided by x plus x. Again, all you got to do is look for 0. Because again, remember, we were missing one here, here, looking for this one. So we're missing the one here, here, looking for this one. So we can go down here until we get to 0. And there's your answer. 21 and negative 21. These have 3 in common. This has 7 in common and negative 7. So the answer there is 3a minus 7, 3a plus 7. Last one to do is this one right here. Again, it's the same concept as all of these. Is divide this by this. So really what you have is you have this divided by this. So once I factor this, this should cross out. So let's factor that. Again, the box method is right here. 10 goes here. Negative 29 goes here. Negative 21 goes here. And 10 times negative 21 is negative 210. Negative 210 divided by x. And negative 210 divided by x plus x. And and I'm looking for negative 29. There's your answer. 6 and negative 35. 6 and negative 35. These have 2 in common. This is a 3 and negative 5. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a 7. Alright, so that answer there is 2x minus 7, 5x plus 3, all over 2x minus 7. These cross out. The answer is 5x plus 3. Good luck on the mastery test, and have a great day.